everybody, Alessandra here, and welcome back to another episode of Worthy in Every Way. Today I am here with Susan. She has been in business for 9 years and has had a successful career beforehand as well. She knows what it's like to be a teenage woman as well as a young woman who has battled low self-esteem, confidence, anxiety, and depression. Please welcome Susan.
Hello, Alessandra. It's really good to be here with you today. Thank you so much for having me on your incredible podcast.
Of course. Well, let's get straight into it with the first question. So, Susan, you've had a successful career and you've run a business for nearly a decade. What personal experiences from your younger years still influence how you lead today?
Sure. So I think the first word that comes to mind, or the first two words that come to mind, is authenticity or authentic leadership. Um, as a young woman, and I'm sure a lot of young women watching this would relate, as a young woman, I knew deep down what I was passionate about and what I loved and what I wanted out of this life. So for me, it's the similar theme is that deep passion for psychology, human potential, lifting others up, helping others break through to greater heights. I was always very passionate and ambitious and, wanted to do great things. And that has, even with all of the turmoil, the insecurity, all of the things that I experienced growing up, that was the theme deep down. So in my soul, in my heart knew what it wanted to do. And it was big.
Amazing, Susan. And what would you say to a teenage girl who's struggling with low self-esteem and anxiety, who feels like she'll never feel confident?
Absolutely. First of all, I understand. I understand now. I'm a lot older than, most people watching this podcast, but I understand because I believe that me growing up, I experienced a lot of that, a lot of mental health issues, depression, anxiety, never felt like I fitted in, didn't have the self-esteem or confidence, and then that reappeared in adulthood too, in my 20s and in my 20s. So I understand what it's like. So that's first thing. Since then, I have achieved everything that I dreamt of as a young woman. So the reason I say that is dream big and your dream will get you through. Okay? You are enough. You are more than enough. Feed the dream because the dream is what gets you excited. Also, if you need to get help, get help. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with getting help. There are more and more people, more and more young people experiencing depression, anxiety, the feelings of unworthiness, because the thing that you all have that I didn't have growing up is social media. So even though growing up was tough for us, it seems as though that added element where there's information constantly in your face about who you should be, how you should look, what you should think. You're constantly bombarded. And I know even with myself, I need social media for business. But even at my age, I've got to be really careful because you can start to be lured into the fakeness of social media. As a professional, I have to have, and not always, I try to also show everyday shots too. I have to have glossy photos, professional photos. And yes, that is me authentically showing up. That's a part of my life. But there are parts of my life where it is still messy. Okay, so the message is watch what messages you are allowing yourself to believe, because they're not true. So number one, I understand you can get through whatever it is that you're experiencing right now. Another thing that I want to actually add to that, number two, and the most important thing, is you are enough. You are enough, you are lovable, you are worthy, and there's a reason why you may feel different. That difference in you, that uniqueness, is your superpower, even though it doesn't feel like now. Get help if you need to. There's a lot of great people ready to help, and it's okay. I went out and got help, and that's one of the things that pulled me through. And watch out who you believe in terms of what you see, because it's not all glossy. Life is not meant to be all glossy. That is a part of us, you know, and it's a beautiful part of us, and it's fun to put the makeup on and dress well and all of that and have beautiful things in life. But there's also an element of messiness in life. None of us are always made up. And you are perfect, whole and complete, exactly how you are. I've not met a young woman that is not beautiful. Every single one of you is beautiful. Every single one of you is amazing. You really, really are. I'm in awe when I sit down and talk to young women. I'm in awe of the generation that's growing up now. You're so gifted, so intelligent, so beautiful, but beautiful in every way, not just with the way you look. That's one element of it. Have confidence in the way you look, okay? Because nobody is perfect, but you're also beautiful with your hearts, with who you are. And when you dig down and connect to your heart and really accept yourself in your uniqueness, it's your uniqueness that makes you beautiful. When you dig down and connect with your heart in your uniqueness, you'll feel a passion and a love and a direction. Just keep going, no matter how hard it gets. Keep going, one day at a time.
That was beautiful. Thank you. I can, you know, resonate with what you're saying, especially with the part about getting help. It probably was the best thing I could have done for myself, reaching out and getting help. And there are
Yeah,
so many different ways that you can get help, whether it be friends, family, somebody at school like your principal or your school counselor, if it's a doctor, a psychologist. There are so many different ways to reach out for help now. And I agree. I think that the younger generation need to know that it is okay to ask for help.
absolutely. Absolutely. It is okay. And you're right. There's so much out there for young women, for young people. Yeah.
And if we kind of stay on that topic about the younger generation and being younger, what would you say were some lessons or tools that you wish you had access to when you were younger, going through these mental health challenges and life challenges? And then going on from that, what are some that you still use now?
Yeah. That's such a great question. For me, I really wish that I had the mentor and someone that would believe in me and hold my hand. Okay, so I grew up in a migrant family where my parents were newly arrived migrants. My brother was born overseas, and there was a lot of trauma in them coming from their place of birth and where they grew up and all they knew. Bang, halfway around the world without internet, with nothing. They didn't even know where they were going. Completely different culture. So they had their own stuff to deal with. my father believed in me in terms of he had big dreams for me. So he said, oh, you're going to be a doctor, da, 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 da. And I never wanted to be a doctor, but what that did for me, without him, I don't think he even realized what he did. It made me think big. I had to be something. I had to have an education. I had a grandmother who was a great mentor. However, I was the first person in my family that went on to tertiary education, that travelled on her own, that had big dreams way beyond you would ever imagine, and that went into business too eventually. So even though I had some mentors in my family who were dealing with their own trauma, they could not support me in the way that I needed and give me direction and belief in the way that I needed, because their world was very different to mine. So I wish I had somebody that cared enough, and my family did care enough. They just did not understand because there was such a huge cultural gap. You know, and some of the young people listening to this podcast would probably understand, because we still have newly arrived migrants and refugees, and, you know, so they might understand. But there was such a significant cultural gap that they probably didn't get what I was going through. So if I had somebody, a teacher, somebody that thought big, that saw in me my potential and could say, look, I understand what you're going through, and I see and I believe in you. That's what I wish I had. And we didn't have the internet back in my day. Nowadays, there's people like you, Alessandra, like myself, like other people out there, women, men, other people out there that can speak their truth and say, whoever's watching, I absolutely believe in you. And if I may add, I'm actually grateful for that experience, because I've had to do most of it on my own. And the reason I'm grateful for that experience, I wasn't at the time, but I can now talk to audiences and people that don't have the support, and I can say, I understand. And here I am, this is what I have achieved, because I decided to wake up just that one more day, because I decided to force myself to wake up and go to school and go to work, even though I had anxiety attacks. I was also bullied. And I can understand now what that is like, to be so lonely, to have this massive dream, and because of that, I could not only understand, but I could also help and mentor people.
Wow, just you are one of the most inspiring women I have met and that I have interviewed so far. Um, the fact that you're able to look back on when you were younger and now have an understanding of what happened, but you're glad that it happened because it shaped who you are today. And I find that a lot of people at the moment are like, oh, I wish that didn't happen to me. I wish I didn't go through this. And I agree. There are multiple things that I wish I didn't have to go through, but it's made me who I am today, more resilient, more strong-willed and minded. And those
Yes.
experiences shape you and they
Yes.
shape us for who we're going to be.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, Alessandra, one thing that really helps me when I go through tough times is everybody has their story. Everyone. Everyone has something that they've gone through that they don't like or that they regret. Regret is useless anyway. No regrets in life, but anyway, but they regret that they're not happy with, that's been was traumatizing. And also, you know, if you're going to get into business, it's not always going to be easy. Life is not always easy. even at my age, with all of the things that I have achieved, mostly on my own, and all of the incredible experiences I have, even at my age, after this is my, as you mentioned, this is my 9th year in business, there are challenges. There are some periods where it's not nice. Okay, so, but it's also beautiful. I've learnt to be grateful for those times, because you cannot fly, okay? You cannot be a beautiful butterfly unless you go through and into the cocoon. That's the only way we break free and see our full beauty and power and expansion.
I 100% agree. I really do. Um, I have two more questions for you. So the first one is, if you could leave one lasting message for the young women in this audience who are watching, what would it be, and why does it matter so much to you that they hear this?
Sure. Another great question. I'm actually tearing up. That's how important this message is for every single woman. Whoa, I didn't expect this. You can be or do or have anything you want. You can be or do or have anything you want. No matter what you're experiencing or what you have experienced, whether it's trauma, whether it's family breakdown, whether it's bullying at school, no matter how you're feeling right now, within you lies infinite potential. Please trust that. Trust your heart, trust your guidance, trust that internal part of you. Block out the voices, the external voices of the world that bother you, that tell you that you are not good enough, because they are not true. They are not true. And if you don't believe in yourself in this moment, I really ask, I beg, I plead that you just take a little bit of my belief. Because I'm here standing in front of you, sitting in front of you, just a few decades. I'm a little bit older, old enough to be your mothers. but I know I've been you. I can feel you. I can feel the fear, how scary it is, that negative self-talk. And I'm standing on the other side. And I know how beautiful, amazing, incredible life can be. And even though I've spoken about bullying and depression and my experience of how difficult it was for me to grow up, really lonely, I felt like I did not fit in anywhere for a long, long, long time. Even though I've been through all of that, I can write books and books and books of also the marvelous, most incredible, most amazing, most magical experiences that life will bring you. Okay, that life has brought me because I decided to keep going and following myself. Not always perfect, not always believing in myself, sometimes, afraid, but I kept stepping out. And I can tell you right now, I am no different to you. I might be a generation older. I might look old. I might look different because I'm older. Okay? But I'm no different to any of you. I know where you are. I know how it feels. And all I can say is just please keep going, because it can and it will get better and better and better. Won't always be perfect. You'll still have challenges. But boy, oh boy, there's magic in you and it's wanting to come out.
Oh my goodness, you're making me tear up now. That was beautiful. Thank you so much, Susan. And one final question for you. Now, you may not have been asked this one before, but if you could give one piece of advice to your future self, what would it be?
Oh, wow, that's a great question. Just keep going, believe in your heart. Now my life is no longer about me. I'm at that age where, of course you have to find joy, but it's about what can I give to others? So, so it would be, focus on the legacy, focus on uplifting the world, focus on, helping others uplift the world, because that's what matters. That's what matters. So that's probably what the message would be. Focus on the legacy and just stay aligned with your passion, with your purpose, with your mission, because that's what makes life meaningful. Now, my passion and mission, it might be very different to everybody watching this. You might dance, you might perform, you might want to act, you might want to do graphic design. I don't know. It might be very, very, very different. Whatever brings your heart bliss, that is what you're meant to do. Whether it's being a fashion designer or an IT leader in IT, or coaching like you, Alessandra, podcasting, whatever it is, to become a doctor or a doctor of mathematics, whatever it is, an astronaut. We've got female astronauts now, heaps of them. Whatever it is, whatever brings you bliss, please follow that, because you have that bliss within you. You have that passion within you, because that is your way of serving yourself and your purpose, and ultimately serving the world. You are all, everybody that is, watching this, and women that gay rights too, right? Okay, just by following who you are and your authentic path, and one day at a time, you are also going to be sitting in this chair and you're going to be lifting others up. We need you. We need you. And that's the same message that I would have to my future self.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for letting me interview you today, Susan. It has been such an inspiring episode. It really has.
Thank you. It's absolutely my honor. I love what you are doing, Alessandra. We had a bit of a chat before we got on, and I'm just so grateful for women like yourself that are wanting to get out there and lift other young people up. So thank you. Change the way you see yourself. Just my final message to all of the young people: change your self-image, not necessarily in the way you dress, but the way you see yourself from the inside out. So thank you so much. I have a free copy of the first chapter of my book on my website. So costs nothing, your2minds.com. Download that. That will help you clear, the vision for your future, and just keep going.
And that chapter will be linked in the bio below as well for everybody to go and have a read of. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for watching this week's episode of Worthy in Every Way, and I can't wait to see you all again next week. Thank you.